I promise you that Elon Musk does not want you to watch this video because it gives away the whole dirty little secret that completely blows up his Doge commission and his supposed mission of getting rid of government waste. Ready for the dirty little secret? Elon Musk is the problem, or at least he's a big part of it. My friend Ann Kim, host of the Washington Monthly Channel and contributing editor at the magazine, literally wrote the book on this. She's the leading expert on the real way that the federal government wastes your money. And she condensed it all down here into about 3 minutes. Take a look.
Donald Trump has declared war on federal workers. He's ended telework and canceled diversity programs. He's fired or reassigned senior officials at agencies like the FBI. He's encouraged people to quit with a resignation package that's sketchy, if not downright illegal. But if he wants a more efficient government, he's aiming at the wrong target. The people he really needs to fire are people like Elon Musk, government contractors who are raking in billions of dollars while often delivering substandard service. The first thing to know is that the size of the federal government really hasn't changed very much in the last 30 years, even though the U.S. population has grown. So who's picking up the slack? Contractors. According to Professor Paul Light of New York University, government contractors outnumber federal workers by a ratio of at least 3-to-1, depending upon the agency. At the Department of Defense, for instance, there were 3.5 government contractors for every federal worker in 2018. At the Department of Transportation, that ratio was 10-to-1. At the Department of Health and Human Services, that ratio was a whopping 36-to-1. Contractors build airplanes and tanks for the military, but they also probably run the Medicare and Medicaid programs in your state. They probably built the government websites that you use. They also run prisons and detention centers. In fact, huge swaths of the federal government have been outsourced over the years thanks to President Ronald Reagan. Reagan had his own version of Doge, the president's private sector survey on cost control. Reagan also had his own version of Elon Musk, a guy named Peter Grace, who was the CEO of the chemical company W.R. Grace. W.R. Grace, by the way, was a manufacturer of asbestos and went bankrupt, although the company did manage to survive. One of the Grace Commission's top recommendations was to outsource as much of government as possible. In his second term, Reagan created another commission focused on privatization. This commission wanted companies to take over everything from Medicare to prisons to the post office. We're living with the consequences today. Many government contractors undoubtedly do a fine job, but many of them don't. They've been accused of fraud. They've been accused of poor performance. Contractors are also expensive. And by the way, remember the inspectors general that Donald Trump fired his first week in office? The job of the inspector general is to look for waste, fraud, and abuse, including and especially by government contractors. Makes you wonder what Trump wants to hide. In the meantime, the same guy who wants to cut $2 trillion from the federal budget, Elon Musk, is snapping up billions of dollars in government contracts. It seems that Musk's idea of government efficiency is to take over all of government by himself, for himself. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.